Hello, amazing crew. How is everybody today? Hope you've had an amazing weekend and an awesome start to the day, whatever part of the day it is for you. So today we're going to have a little bit of a harsh chat. Where this live comes from is a couple of, well, a few bits of piece of inspiration. It's like, I got to talk about this again on my page. And that's to do with a combination of students that I mentor, that I hear a lot of the similar things, a post I put in my page yesterday, and another challenge that we're about to start. So it's a combination of a few different things that I want to raise this discussion with you here today, because some of you actually seriously believe your own excuses. And I'll explain what that sort of all means, in a second. And it doesn't make it wrong. It just means it's a really good point of discussion, because the only one that can change the outcomes in your lives, whether it's your health, your business, your relationships, your friendships, your finances, anything, at the end of the day, guys, it comes down to you, not anybody else. It's not your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your kids, your winning the lottery, even mentors. It's not up to anybody else for you to get what you want out of life other than you. And most people, because I hear it all the time in this space, the online space, and just in life generally, we can be full of excuses. But the thing is, some people genuinely believe their own excuses. And this is what I want to talk about today, because I just want to raise the level of awareness that at the end of the day, when people are telling me things and students are saying, oh, I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do that, or whatever, and it's like, they're just excuses at the end of the day. And then they kind of go, yeah, they probably are. So I want to talk about it, because what are your excuses? What do you continually tell yourself you can't do because of something? So what are the common things that come up for you in your mind as to why you're not doing some of the things that you want to do? Now, for some of you, that might be exercise. So you might say, I can't exercise because I don't have the time. And so to give you an example, and I'm not talking out of school, because it's a post on my page that I put on yesterday. It was just a post, and it was on my business page, I think. Yeah, here on my business page. If you're watching from the business page, some of you might be watching from my free group. And it was just a post about how many times do you exercise a day? None. Or, I can't even remember what the ratios I put, like 2 to 1 to 3 and 4 to whatever, or 7 days a week. And someone who may be listening, and as I said, I'm not talking out of school because it's sitting on my page here. Someone said, I wish I could, but, and then there's, I work X amount of days and I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm doing that. So when you actually think of that, and how many of you tell yourself the same thing? I can't do this because I don't have the time. That's probably the main one. Most of you are not probably doing something that you want to do, maybe because you don't have the time, or because of something else. You don't have the money, or you don't believe you can, or you don't believe you have the skill, or COVID, or there's something that always comes in as to the reason why you can't do something. So someone said, I wish I could, but. So let me ask you, like the exercise one, is there anything stopping anyone on this planet, even somebody with disabilities that has limited mobility, is there anything stopping anyone on this planet of doing 10, 15 minutes of exercise a day? Is there any reason that you couldn't, even if you've got, mobility issues, is there any reason that you couldn't, lift a little hand weight, even if you don't have any movement? Like, is there any reason on this entire planet that somebody couldn't do 10 to 15 minutes of exercise every single day? I think not. There's obviously, the smart ass people out there, there's going to be obviously some kind of circumstance where somebody doesn't, but for the most part, for most people, you would be able to do that. And the fact that you don't is not time, it's just that you don't prioritize it. The fact that you're not achieving things in your business is not the fact that you don't have time, you're just not prioritizing it. But people believe their own excuses, and that's all they are at the end of the day. But here's what's important about that. What are your habits? You show me your habits, and I'll show you the results of your future life. So really, this is really coming down to a discussion about habits, because you know what habits are? Habits are little things that you do every single day that eventually become subconscious. So a habit is something that you just do because it's just what you do. It's a habit, and you get to the point where you do them subconsciously. How many of you it's a no-brainer that first thing in the morning and last thing at night, hopefully you do this, you brush your teeth, and you don't have to force yourself to brush your teeth. Well, you might sometimes. Oh, I've got to get up and brush my teeth. But for the most part, it's just something you do, is it not? Because it's a small thing you've done most of your life. So habits in relation to you as an individual, what you want to achieve, how much money you want to make, how healthy you want to become, totally up to you, and the habits that you create. And most of us are run by some sort of unhealthy habits. Do you have foods that you eat that you know you shouldn't? Do you have things that you drink that you know that you shouldn't? Do you have, vices, alcohol, smokes, whatever it is that you know you shouldn't, but it's a habit? Do you scroll through Facebook and it takes away from your productivity of your business, but it's just a habit? Do you sit down and watch your favorite TV show because the marketing of that TV show has been so good that it's just a habit that you watch that TV show? But at the end of the day, does that TV show, increase the quality of your life? No, it's just a habit. It's something that you like, that you just like to sit down and do. Like, we are ruled by habits. And a lot of people will say, I don't have time. And you know what? You got to call that, because it's not that you don't have time. It's just that you're not prioritizing what's important enough, and your habits are getting in the way. Yes, people work, like in this industry, people work full time and they've got other commitments and they've got kids and stuff like that. But there is nothing stopping you to find 15 minutes in a day to do something that you want to do for yourself. Sit, meditate, sit, read, sit, journal, exercise. If you don't do these things, it's just that you're not prioritizing enough. It doesn't mean you don't have the time. It just means at the end of the day, it's actually not that important to you. It's actually not that important to you, because if it was, you'd do it. But I get people that say to me all the time, I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that and I couldn't do this and I couldn't exercise. It's just like, it's just full of excuses for a couple of reasons. One, you've got some really bad habits going on. But the only way that you can break habits is to start new ones. And that takes time and energy and commitment, and you got to do it for a number of days, minimum 21 days, to create new habits. So if you got some things going on and you're full of excuses and you're not doing what you want to do, or you're not healthy, or you're not your ideal weight because you don't have time to exercise, or you're eating crap, or you're drinking stuff, or you got bad habits, you're the only person to blame is you. It's not to have, it's not to be nasty to anybody. This is just life. This is all of us. We all do this. But you are in control and can change it. Whereas a lot of people think they can't. I don't have time. Yes, you do. You actually do. You're just not prioritizing it. You're prioritizing everything else over something for yourself. And women, you are the worst offenders. You look after everybody else except for yourself, which includes your business, it includes your health, it includes exercise, all those kind of things. It's just because you're not prioritizing you. And yet, you guys tell me this, the most important person in the world is you. If you fall apart, then other people around you probably fall apart. And those of you that have got husbands and wives and kids and stuff like that, like, we have to prioritize ourselves and create good habits to be a role model for those of you that have got children. We all have choices. So work out the difference between choices and excuses. And if you find yourself making excuses, stop yourself and say, I can change that, because you can. You are absolutely in control. And sometimes you just need to stop and look in the mirror and go, the reason that I am the way I am, or I'm not achieving what I want to achieve, or I've put on weight, or whatever it is because of your habits. So if you know you've got bad habits, you've got to break them. Is Laurie on? Yeah. So, Laurie, how's the no Mountain Dew going? Hey, Laurie. So, Laurie's had a really, I hope you don't mind me. I mean, we've spoken about this before here, about Laurie and her Mountain Dew. The Mountain Dew is the soft drink, and Laurie had a really, really bad habit. So, are you off that habit? And then we did like a water challenge, and she did amazing. And I think you're off the Mountain Dew, Laurie, but it was just because it's a habit. It's just we all have bad habits that keep you non-productive. But at the end of the day, it's just excuses. So your habits were, as I said before, you show me your habits and I'll show you your future. Walk around, with you for 7 days and see what you do on a daily basis and how much time you're wasting doing whatever. Then you can pretty much work out how successful that person is going to be by their habits. So what are yours? Do you need to check in with your habits? Do you need to change your diet? Like if you got cravings, are they things that you just have to have every day, like Mountain Dew or chocolate or something like that? They're just habits. You can break habits, but it's your choice. You can exercise every day if you want to. Just create a new habit, your choice. Things don't happen to you. You are the ones that make them happen. So there's no excuses. I hear a lot with the students as to why they haven't done things and whatever, and it's like, they're just excuses. Okay, yay, Gin and Tonic Day. Who's celebrating Gin and Tonic Day? Beth alerted me to Gin and Tonic Day, and I put a post on my personal profile yesterday because the 19th, which was for me yesterday, for today, it's for Beth, that's today. It's if you need an excuse to have a Gin and Tonic today, it's Gin and Tonic International Gin and Tonic Day. Did you know that? If you didn't know that, now you do. So you can have a gin and tonic. Hello, Lani. How are you? I may not watch you live diligently, but I'm glad I watch your recordings and that I'm a lifetime member of your coaching crew. You are a blessing, woman. Thank you, Lani. I love it when you show up, and thank you for the love. Love having you in my community, girl. Absolutely. Too busy. Love the 7-minute workout app. It gets you into a routine. Perfect solution, Rick. There is just no excuses for not even fitting in 7 minutes a day to exercise. If you just get your body moving, just, get the endorphins going in your brain. It just puts you in a different mindset. I know when I exercise more and I'm feeling healthier and happier and the endorphins are going, I'm so much more productive in my business. The flow-on effect from, your mindset and stuff like that. And you know what it's like when you're not eating well and you're not exercising and you just get that feeling, it rolls out into every other area of your life. Relationships, even in your mood, how you yell at the children. If you've got them, you're more short-tempered. You're not enthused to do anything in your business because you can't be bothered. Like it's just a real roller coaster, effect, or it can be. So that I love, Rick, because 7-minute workout app, go and find that. Just something. And what we have here with technology, the internet, there are apps galore. There's Google. There is just no excuses to not find any support regarding healthy eating and exercise and all those kind of things. And if you're not doing it, you're living your life by excuses. Yes, Charm, it's all excuses. I'm not doing some things because I refuse to stay awake 24 hours a day. Some days waiting in line or in an internet service call for hours. I try and multitask when I'm waiting. So yeah, something like call lines and stuff like that. There's certain things that you don't have control over. We're talking about the things that you do have control over. No reason. And Chantel, I got to highlight Chantel for a minute. Hope you don't mind, Chantel. But Chantel has a major disability and is in a wheelchair, and she still goes to the gym. She still exercises. She's still healthy. She's a role model to so many people. Chantel, you're amazing. And I just love the fact that you get the most out of life that you possibly could, because some people in your circumstances just don't, and they feel sorry for themselves. But that's not you, and you still exercise and do things and lead a great life. With some disadvantages that the average person doesn't have. So no excuses from Chantel. She's an inspiration. 10 to 15 minutes. What, does vacuuming count? Well, it can, Jeanette, but maybe something a little bit more mindful enjoyment. So vacuuming, let me put it this way. Do you get enjoyment out of vacuuming? If you don't particularly get enjoyment out of vacuuming, then make another 10, 15 minutes into something for you. Just a little walk, some stretches. The best thing that you can do, and coming from somebody that teaches pump at the local gym every single week, week in, week out, I know the benefit of little hand weights, even if you can't hold a lot. Even if you can't hold heavy hand weights, just going to a sports store and getting some light hand weights, you could just do some bicep curls. You can push up to the ceiling like that. That gets your heart rate up. Just grabbing a dumbbell and putting it above your head like that from your shoulders to the ceiling actually elevates your heart rate, which means you're kickstarting your metabolism. There are so many things you can do from home. You don't need to even leave your house. You don't need to go to a gym. You can just buy, some little hand weights or even a kettlebell. Do you know what that is, guys? The bell with the handle on it, and, do kettlebell raises. They are amazing to get your heart rate up. 15 minutes a day. There's no excuses. It just means you're not prioritizing yourself or your health or your happiness. I used to use, I don't have time for my excuses, not doing exercise. And it doesn't make it, it doesn't necessarily make it wrong, guys. We all do this. I say often, when I get more time, like we all say it, but it's a matter of if there's something that you actually want. If you don't want to exercise, then it doesn't matter. But if you want things in your life and you're making excuses, for the reason that you're not doing what you want to do, then that's what you need to reassess. It's like, no, this is what I want. I want to be healthier. I want to be happier. I want to make more money. I want to be more successful in my business. If that's actually what you want, then actually make some time and prioritize it, but baby steps. What starts a habit is small things consistently. It's not going on a diet for, 30 days and then reverting back and putting all the weight back on. That's what generally happens with people on diets. Like, people need to learn to change their eating patterns. They need to exercise regularly and stuff like that and change their lifestyle. So that's where diets can be really damaging for people. Like, you don't want to come in and out of something. You actually want to create a brand new habit. But it comes down to you and sort of what you want. I moved 20 to 40 pound bags of frozen dirt the other day. My chores are enough. Yeah, you do a lot of heavy physical work. So that absolutely counts, Gloria. I know you do that. All that wood that you moved not long ago, like, you do a lot of physical work. So that's the same thing. You're moving your body every day. So that's it. That's a good thing. Yes, housework is exercise. Yeah. Just do something more enjoyable than housework, but it's definitely exercise. It's so true. They are excuses. Yes, it so does. Habits, discipline will beat motivation every time, subconscious. And that's a really good point that I shared with you before. Habits turn into things that you do subconsciously. So they will either work for you or work against you. And that's why people believe their own excuses, because it actually gets ingrained into their subconscious. And people's bad habits run their life. They absolutely run their life because they become subconscious. So if you know you've got habits you need to kick, you actually consciously need to create new habits for minimum 21 days. The longer, the better. So you start creating healthier habits. Okay? Oh, that's a good one, Jennifer. Fill some milk bottles for weights. There's no excuses. Love that. Thanks for contributing that, Jennifer. It's not about buying things necessarily. You've got things all around you that can, like household items. It could be a bag of flour or potatoes, or filling, milk bottles with water. There's always something that you would have around your house to create some weight. You can do squats, sit-ups, lunges, all those kind of things without anything. There's nothing stopping you doing, 15 minutes a day of those kind of exercises, and just elevate your heart rate, get the endorphins going. You'll feel better. You might raise a bit of a sweat, which is a really good thing. And kickstart that metabolism. Lani, the last 6 months have seen me at my heaviest. Haven't seen what's down there for a long time. Not that there's a need because I'm a single mum, but still, I need to feel healthy and good. I started yesterday watching my food intake, practicing healthy eating, doing light exercise. I'll let you know in 8 weeks how I'm going. Well, you've said it, Lani, and now we're expecting it. You've called it. You said it publicly. So I hope that contributes to your accountability, because it's when you say things out loud and when you say them out to people publicly, that's when it can actually help you achieve things. Like people that go on a diet and never tell anyone they're on a diet, it doesn't matter if they break the diet because they didn't tell anybody in the first place. But when you publicly announce that you're going to do things, what's the reason that you think I ask people in the video challenge to announce it publicly? It's because then they're accountable to it. Just on that, by the way, the doors to the video challenge are open. So the link is up above, actually, in the description, whether you're watching on my business page or my free group. It's only a 14-day challenge, completely free. I'll give you all the guidance regarding the technical skills and the content. We start on the 28th of this month. So get yourself into the group and listen to all the instructional videos as to how it all operates. And don't forget, guys, tomorrow we are doing our boot camp. So build your social influence and your attraction factor on social media. So if you need to attract more people to you, if you want to know how to build your influence on social media, join us for the next 3 days for our boot camp. So you just need to get into the coaching community for that one. The link is above for that as well. You can get in for a $1 trial, look around. You're not committed to anything in there, so don't stress about that. But I got thousands of dollars worth of practical training in there. So a couple of more comments here. Jennifer, yes, I started walking daily while my husband ran. 1 month later, I'm at a steady jog. Wow, that's awesome, Jennifer. This was an area I really wanted for my health. Yay, almost 40 club. That's amazing. Congratulations to you. And it just, the progress is what gets you there. Like, just start. Just get started. It might be just a walk, but then it might go into something like a steady jog, which Jennifer has done. You just small baby steps, but consistently is what will help you get to where you want to go. Same with business, guys. Growing an audience, growing your influence. You don't just arrive on social media. There are little things that you need to be doing all the time to grow your influence, to grow your audience. These are the kind of things that we're talking about in the next 3 days in the boot camp. You don't just turn up on social media and expect to be successful. It doesn't happen that way. We're going to build out a bit of a plan, a daily method of operation for you guys during that boot camp. 2 tins out of your pantry. Tins will do it. PM me this app. So Gloria wants the app from you, Rick. Love the boot camps. Thank you, Susan. I keep telling everyone I talk to what day I'm on with the no soda and that I'm going to give up the smokes, adding as pressure for myself as I can. So she said it publicly. She's giving up the smoke. So everyone, you've got to put pressure on Laurie. She's got to give up the smokes next. Yep, Laurie, Lani, sorry, you did it. So here it is. Here's your accountability. Same with Laurie and Lani, the L's. You've said it now, so you have to stick to it. But we're here to guide you, and cheer you on every step of the way. So your habits will actually help you or hinder you guys in all areas of your life. The way you treat people, your communication skills, your health, your finances, your business, it all comes down to your habits. So if you just raise your level of awareness regarding your habits, and if you find yourself doing something that you know that doesn't serve you, you're sitting down watching Netflix again, you're picking up a cigarette, you're drinking the Mountain Dew, you're going for the chocolate, and anything, you know how it goes with food, like anything in moderation is okay. You just eat one chocolate, you don't eat the whole block. Because you don't want to deprive yourself. When you deprive yourself, you just end up going backwards and binging. I mean, that's just how it can work regarding food. So we've gone on all different tangents on this video, but it really is about creating healthy habits for yourselves to just achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. And stop making excuses for not achieving what it is that you want to achieve. I have to look in the mirror with this as well, guys. I got up at 5:30 this morning to exercise, not necessarily because I wanted to, but because I have to start the healthy habit again. I go in and out of periods of times where I'm great at exercise, and then I fall off the wagon. Even being a gym instructor and teaching at the gym every single week, when I'm bad, that's the only thing I do in a 7-day period. And, you know, it's a little bit embarrassing when the people that are attending your class are lifting heavier the weights than the instructor is. But that's what happens when you do things consistently or you don't. Weights is one of those things that if you only do them once a week, it doesn't really build your muscle that much. Not that I'm looking to build muscle, but weight is great. Just a side note, guys, little weights help you burn fat for longer periods of time. Cardio, you do it at the time, you burn the fat at the time, and then when you finish the cardio, you stop. When you're lifting weights, just little weights, you actually continue to burn fat a lot longer after you finished exercising than cardio. So that's why weights are so good for you. It's not to build muscle and look like a he-man or a she-man. It's to actually help you, tone up and burn fat for a longer period of time. Just a side note. Okay, that's it for me. I'm going to leave it there. So just be careful not to believe your own excuses. Don't buy into them. If there's something you want more, health, wealth, life, better relationships, create new habits. Remember, your habits will make or break you. So if you haven't got some particularly healthy habits, make a real conscious effort to create some new ones. Small baby steps every day. Doesn't have to be huge, just like the exercise one, 10, 15 minutes a day. Rick gave us an example of 7 minutes a day. It's not hard. You just got to commit to it and get it done. And then you just do it subconsciously. Okay, so take what you will from that discussion. I hope it's thought-provoking in some way. Remember 2 things. The video challenge, the free one, the links are up above, and a boot camp over the next 3 days regarding building influence and really learning to attract people to you on social media. If you're trying to build a business on social media, join us in the coaching community from the link above as well. Okay, I will catch you guys same time tomorrow. Work on what new habits you're going to create for yourself. Okay. Oh, now tomorrow, last week at the timing of this video live, last week, the last video I did for the week, I critiqued someone's personal profile, and I asked you guys, would you like me to do some more of that? And you're like, yes, please. Someone even said, can we do it once a week? I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I am going to do another one tomorrow, and I would like a volunteer for a business page review the next day. So tomorrow is going to be another personal profile, but I really want to highlight some things with those of you that are business pages. So put them down here, and I'll pick someone out randomly. But if you're willing to have your business page reviewed, I'm going to do that the following day to give you guys some insights of what you should be doing there to increase, influence. So I want to sort of cover both. Okay, so if there's anyone that wants to volunteer for that, just put it in the comments section, whether you're on live now or catching the replay shortly, put your name down. Okay, I will catch you tomorrow. Bye, guys.